Becky, I must have read this thing 100 times and I still don't understand. So BEW UK owns this company, BEW India, that's caused all this trouble. And we don't like this?
Sort of. Look, the CEO of BEW is going to be here in a minute. So remember the brief and stick to your guns. I don't want to complicate things, but have you seen today's newspapers?
Later, I need to concentrate on this. Becky, why do I have to do this on my first day as business minister?
Because the Prime Minister wants it sorted out quickly. Look, just be clear that our press release condemning BEW's human rights record is going out at midday as is. But be careful though, huh? He does tend to have a little bit of a reputation.
For what?
Well, the press like to call him George the Shark Billings. Just keep him calm, we'll be fine.
Keep the shark calm. Brilliant. Send in the shark.
Well, can we just quickly discuss the newspapers? Very quickly.
Later.
Hello, Sam. Hi. Yes, Becky here. Can you send in the minister's 11 o'clock? Thanks.
You moron! You idiot! You imbecile! I'll bloody kill you! You're supposed to back British business at all costs, not screw things up for us!
Calm down, Mr. Shark. Billings! Let's just talk about this.
Talk about it! I'll give you talk about it!
Mr. Billings! If you do not restrain yourself, I will call security.
And you, dear girl, are?
Becky Madison, Special Advisor to the Minister.
Oh, and was it your special advice to advise the Minister to release this press release about our business activities in India, eh?
I have advised the Minister on the issue, but the Minister has a mind of his own.
I do? I do, yes. We have no choice here. The human rights issues are clear. Why have you done all this? You can imagine how much flack we are getting from the Indian government about this. Can't you play nice?
Play nice? 42 million people rely on us for clean water. 42 million! You don't think I take that seriously? Eh?
I didn't mean to infer you don't take it seriously. It's just all these problems with the Indian government. I can't remember the details.
BEW shut the wells, dammed the rivers, overcharged for water. A woman was killed. Riots ensued. The Indian government are now threatening to nullify the contract and arrest BEW officials.
Young lady, do you know how to supply 42 million people with water?
It's not my job to do that.
It is mine. So when I say it's necessary to close some wells, that's because it really is necessary. We need to clean them and fix them! People, most likely children, would die if we didn't!
And the overcharging?
We invested $100 million in it, so we're not a charity.
Oh, and your company's involvement in the shooting of Basanti Das. Was that a charitable activity?
Her death was an unfortunate tragedy, which I deeply regret.
It's a little bit late for that.
Look, most of the 42 million people will have access to clean, healthy water for the first time in their lives. The bloody Indian government's never going to invest in water infrastructure.
Mr. Billings, we absolutely appreciate everything you are doing for these people. But that woman,
Basanti Das.
Yes, Basanti Das. She was shot trying to protect her well. There were riots. It looks really bad for UK PLC.
Not to mention from the human rights perspective, water is a human right, you know.
Human rights, bloody human rights. First of all, water is not a human right. Access to safe drinking water is, and that is what I provide. Water itself is a commodity. Second of all, your bloody department, in its human rights advice to us before we made the investment, well, I have it here. Business and Human Rights Toolkit. We were told by you to pay particular attention to the bottom of page 4. It states the legal position.
I'm sorry, but we don't seem to have that document.
Allow me to read it to you. Right. It says the UK takes a more nuanced view than the United Nations about the state's duty to ensure companies act compatibly with the state's human rights obligations. The UK does not owe legal obligations to ensure UK companies comply with UK human rights standards overseas. Let me repeat that last bit for you, in case it wasn't clear. The UK does not owe legal obligations to ensure UK companies comply with UK human rights standards overseas.
So, you took this as a green light for human rights abuse, did you?
Bad things sometimes happen when you're working in developing states. It's not the same as supplying water to a woman in Croydon.
Yes, presumably you don't generally going around shooting women in Croydon whilst installing a water meter.
If you issue that press release condemning us as human rights abusers, we'll issue our own press release stating that you advised us to ignore human rights in India.
Mr. Billings, George, obviously I wasn't minister at the time. Becky, maybe we can take a nuanced approach to this press release. After all, I need to be seen to be back in British business. And we may have given George the wrong impression about our human rights toolkit.
Can we have a moment, please, over here?
You don't mind, do you, George? What? Have some water.
Is it BEW supplied?
I think so.
Maybe not. Yeah, get me legal, now!
We have a complication. Today's newspapers.
Yes, spit it out. Am I in it?
Look at this.
That's a terrible picture of me. Can you get them a better one to use?
Yes, but can you please look at the other picture?
Very attractive. Why is she relevant?
She works for Amnesty International in Orissa, and BEW Security beat the crap out of her shortly after that photograph was taken.
Oh, God. Can't we spin this somewhere? You know, say she was a terrorist or something.
It's tricky. She's English. Oxford. Daughter of a High Court judge named Bentley. I mean, she went to school with Kate Middleton. I know. And now the local police have detained her and might have tortured her as well.
We didn't arrange for her arrest and torture, did we?
No, of course not. But it does mean we now have the human rights of a British citizen to consider as well.
Oh, God. Why didn't you tell me about this earlier, Becky?
I did try.
So, our policy is we are not concerned with UK companies abusing the human rights of non-British citizens, but we are if they abuse the human rights of British citizens. Is that right? I can't say that in a press release, can I?
No, of course not. Look, the only way we're going to get out of this is if we get help from the shark over there. If his company backs off, we're fine.
Email it to me now!
Have we got any leverage with George?
With the press release? I'm not sure that's going to be enough. He already thinks we're going to sort that out for him.
I've had an alternative press release drafted up to sort the mess out.
But this doesn't even mention the human rights issues. It just gives a detailed technical description of how BEW UK does not own BEW India. It's implausible.
I think you mean it's a good technical legal description and a position that we think Her Majesty's government should take.
George, what is a British designed and led liability and taxation enhancement migratory corporate subsidiary chain?
Right. Well, I mean, that's obvious, isn't it? That is... Don't ask me, I'm not a bloody lawyer. I'm told it means that BEW UK is not responsible for anything BEW India does.
So this press release is okay then?
Yeah.
Solves our little problem.
Perfectly fine, dear boy.
No, it does not. It's trouble. It might be, people might really think it's real, but it's not. Basically, it's just saying that BEW UK does not own BEW India. More to the point, everyone already thinks BEW India is British anyway. People think it's a fraud.
Why is this so bloody complicated? Didn't all this get sorted after Bhopal Union Carbide?
This is nothing like Bhopal. This is simple. You use our version or your career is fucking over.
George, please. I'm not against it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but everything BEW has done so far has been perfectly legal, has it not?
Yes.
Right.
But not morally. And in the UN's view...
If it's legal, we will do it. If it's not, then we won't. Simple. If you want us to comply, then formally adopt the UN's business and human rights strategy. Formally adopt it as policy. Go on. If not, stay out of it.
George, I still don't really understand any of this. But I think you could, as CEO of BEW UK, sort this out. Am I right?
I refer to the press release. Look, BEW UK has 100 companies between it and BEW India. We're not responsible for anything any of those companies do if we don't want to be. And we don't want to be.
Minister, let's just go with our original press release. Let's do it.
Right. You listen to me. Right? Let me be very, very clear. We have done nothing wrong. And it'll be much worse for you personally if you don't go along with what I say. Huh? Shortest ministry on record. And you can tell your bloody PM it'll be very, very bad for party fundraising if I don't get what I want. Now, you've got until 12 noon to tear up your press release and agree mine. Right. Good day, Minister. Good day, Special Advisor.